Okay, it's Everton versus Leeds. We'll take a look at the betting as we have at matchbook.com. We really wanted to cover this game. This is huge. Everton 2.58, Leeds 3.05. The draw is available at 3.4. Both teams to score yes is 1.89. No is available at 2.08. That means the Asian handicap line is a draw no bet market. Everton are the favourites at 1.83. And the goal line is 2.5. So, Adrian, we'll go back to you on this one. You're expecting a tense game at Goodison Park.
It's kind of my go-to with relegation 6-pointers. I think they're often very, very cagey, often low quality, where everybody's a little bit frightened to make the mistake that cost them the game. And Leeds traditionally have been full of goals, but not lately. They've failed to score in 4 of their last 7. Kept a couple of clean sheets in there as well. They've been involved in a couple of nil-nillers. And it wouldn't surprise me if this was goalless. It wouldn't, because Everton haven't got a lot up front. Calvert-Lewin is a fitness doubt. It's going to go down to the wire, I think, whether Sean Dyche risks him or not. I don't think Ellis Sims will get another go, even though I like Ellis Sims. I think as part of a front two, he's a good striker, but he's not really used to playing up top on his own. And it was a thankless task at Anfield the other night. You know, with Mopé in, they're going to have to play a different style of football, which doesn't suit them. So I don't fancy Everton to score heavily in the game, and it would be the same for Leeds, who, as I've said, have not been free flowing going forward, and of course they're still in limbo, which is not ideal coming into a game as big as this one. Everton have been involved in a lot of pretty dull games this season, even prior to Sean Dyche's arrival. Only 8 of their 22 Premier League matches to this point have gone over 2.5 goals. So that's where I'm headed. I just think under 2.5 goals for a really important relegation match. I can absolutely see 0-0, 1-1 or 1-0 either way. We obviously still get the 2-0s onside as well. And I think at 1.84, that's not a bad price. So yeah, I couldn't sit here and hang my hat on Everton, and I couldn't do that with Leeds either. So it had to be a goals angle, and that's the one that leaps off the page for me.
Okay, interesting enough, Mark. For you, you're siding with Sean Dyche's side here. Is there more pro Everton, more anti Leeds based on their management? Bit of both, maybe.
Yeah, probably a bit of both. I think we're all pretty positive about Everton's ability to go to Anfield and compete on Monday night. Obviously, we weren't aware that Dominic Calvert-Lewin was going to miss out through injury, and that was a big, had a big knock-on effect for Sean Dyche and Everton's prospects. And as Adrian says, Ellis Sims is a capable forward. He's earned his stripes in the EFL, but very green in Premier League terms, particularly leading the line on your own. And it's pretty obvious that Everton's kind of lack of attacking threat outside of Calvert-Lewin has to be addressed, and his availability is going to be key this weekend if Everton are going to be successful. Word is, well, at least what I can see, is he probably is going to be fit and available. He was touch and go on Monday night, which is a big positive and a big reason why I'm pro Everton, actually. I think the disappointing factor from Monday was the intensity and the competitive edge we saw against Arsenal wasn't quite there at Anfield, and the performance was probably more in keeping with Everton's actual levels rather than the sort of levels they rose themselves to against Arsenal. But I think a return to Goodison against a relegation rival should undoubtedly kind of spur that home crowd on. We saw during Lampard's reign last season, the support can be the 12th man for Everton. For Leeds, I think they can be positive about their performances against Manchester United. Last weekend, they were unfortunate not to score. David De Gea was in good form between the sticks. Leeds had 16 shots overall, some good chances in that first half, but United's extra class in the final third told late on. And that's just been in keeping really with Leeds' season, or forever really, since they've returned to the Premier League, because they've been playing reasonably well in a lot of matches. Haven't been absolutely on it in every facet though for 90 minutes, and that's unfortunate, because if the attack is converting chances, the defence is giving away goals. If the defence is standing up, the forwards are misfiring. They can't seem to put it all together at the same time consistently, and that's ultimately why they've only won 4 Premier League games in 22 this season. And that's why I'm happy to oppose them, because this team, as I say, has just won 4 games all season. To get Everton on side, Sean Dyche back at home, Goodison Park crowd behind him, just having that draw on side as well, Everton +0 at 1.83, does appeal to me. As I say, I think the performances for Leeds have been reasonable, particularly under Skubala. They were good in places under Jesse Marsh as well, but as Adrian says, that the managerial limbo can't be a positive, surely. And I think it's hard to trust a team who've won so few games and kept so few clean sheets this season to get a result. They've won once away all season. So I'm happy to presume that Everton can at least get a point out of this game. So, yeah, that's the thinking, really. But happy with you to go with Adrian along instead of mine, if you like, because ultimately, if Everton do win this game, it's hard to see them winning sort of 3-0. It would be a 2-1 more likely if it's to break the 2.5 goal line. So, I think both selections have got decent legs. So I'd be happy to opposing Leeds, but also goals too.